insurance underwriting and AI. And so, on behalf of the committee, we want to say a big thank you for everyone who is going to be here this afternoon to discuss this very important issue, because we are not going to be able to take out innovation, technology out of the job that we do. We are also not going to be able to take the human beings out of the technology. So both ways, we have to come together to be able to make it work. And with all the discussions that we have had, it is important that we look at our normal way of doing insurance and how new innovation, technology, everything that is driving the world now, how do we bring it into insurance? So hopefully, by the time the panelists have done their presentations and had their discussions, all of us will have some understanding and appreciation going back and going forward to be able to also use it, because we can never do away with it. On that note, we'll begin the session, and we're hoping that we'll have a final position before we go, when Egypt and Cameroon will do their country presentation. Okay? So, Egypt, you will still do your country presentation. Cameroon, you will still do your country presentation. I want to start with the discussion first. And before we go, you close us with the country presentation. We're good? We're good? Great. So this afternoon, my lady says that I haven't done any work since I've been here. So this afternoon, they have asked that I sit down and bring people up for the discussion. So I'll be moderating the program. And as you all know, Dr. Kweku Apietu-Ankra, I chair the training committee. And mostly I introduce myself as I am part of the furniture at Ganari. And that is my signature. So if you come to Ganari and you are looking for furniture, you might find me. Thank you very much. So I'll be moderating this afternoon's program. What we are going to do is we'll welcome the panelists, and with a resounding round of applause, we'll call Clement Adai Bafo to take his seat. Feel free. Mr. Fifi Amwa Opong. We have Mr. Mahmoud Al-Kabi. Let's welcome Mr. Kwesi Ofori-Kwegu. Mr. Omoroka Amani Hassan. It looks like we haven't done good engineering, right? Yeah. We have actually made sure that stability is important. We have Ms. Shamim Ahmed taking her seat to balance out the portfolio. So when she comes, she will take her seat. Okay. My attention has been drawn that the way we are seated is as if we have left the front seat for the church elders. We are not in church. So please, there are no church elders here. Can we just fill up the seats so that at least for the sake of photography and everything, it looks very, very nice, so that those who come in can fill up the back seats. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So fill up the front seats, and then when they take the photograph, it looks very nice. When we send it to you, your bosses don't say that they couldn't find you anywhere in the photographs. So whilst we wait for Shamima to take her seat, The areas of presentation under the general principle or the topic, engineering, underwriting, engineering, insurance, underwriting, and AI, we are going to look at. We are going to have a look at the following: claims management and AI. We will also look at AI adoption and implementation. We'll look at the future outlook and opportunities with AI, and generally we'll look at the underwriting bit in terms of how engineering and AI comes in when, as insurers, we sit down to look at everything. Having given that, the general issue is that they are going to do presentations, so let's take note, and then when they have finished, we'll have some questions for them. They answer, and then we'll ask the general floor to also ask questions, right, or make contributions to the general discussions. On that note, you are very much welcome. Thank you. So we'll begin. I'll get Esther to introduce the first panelist to make their presentation.
It's engineering, underwriting, and AI insurance. Sorry, engineering, underwriting, and AI. To discuss this topic, we would have Clement Adai-Bafo, and Mr. Fifi Amwa-Opon. But we would have Clement go first. Before he comes, or before he starts speaking, I'd like to read his profile. Clement Adai-Bafo is a skilled risk engineer and operational risk manager with about 15 years of experience working with the enterprise insurance in the area of enterprise risk management, engineering risk surveys, and loss adjustment. He currently serves as the head risk management unit at the enterprise insurance, and he's also the risk manager of enterprise properties and other subsidiaries of Enterprise Group PLC. His expertise spans into the real estate landscape and the development of security protocols to enhance operational resilience. He has played a key role in standardizing risk registers, assessing complex insurance risks, and generating comprehensive underwriting risk reports to identify exposures and recommend mitigating strategies. Clement also collaborates with claims officers to validate and adjust motor and property insurance claims, ensuring accuracy and fairness in claims processing. So now to his professional background. He holds MSc in Financial Risk Management from the University of Ghana Business School. He has a BSc in Petroleum Engineering from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Advanced Diploma in Insurance from the CII Ghana / Malta International Training Center. He's a certified operational risk manager with the Global Academy of Finance and Management. He's a certified risk analyst, Global Academy of Finance and Management. He's a fellow, Global Academy of Finance and Management, member CII UK. He also holds an HND in Mechanical Engineering from the Accra Technical University. He's an implementer of ISO standards and an active member of Enterprise Group's Crisis Management Task Force and Business Continuity Center of Excellence. Beyond his professional career, Clement is passionate about community and Christian services and entrepreneurship, and sustainability. And he consistently drives initiatives that create long-term impact. Please, with another round of applause.
Engineering, writing, and AI. And before that, I think we've all gone through what engineering underwriting is, so I would not want to bore us with what the meaning of engineering underwriting is of time. So, actually, if we say artificial intelligence, is bit of technology and machines programmed to perform tasks. Programmed to perform tasks that ordinarily humans would have done. And by it, insurance can also tap into this growing technology or growing landscape. And it is something that is to help make life better. Our ladies would say to make life softer, to soften life. So AI actually is to help transform underwriting, then move into our claims management as well, because the whole of insurance means doing the underwriting, paying claims, and then that's it. So the other panelists will be talking more into the claims aspect. Right. So with machine learning, it is very, very important to know that you need data, a lot of data. And you need to train the technology to be able to understand what it's supposed to do. And by it, we are saying that AI is to help us evaluate the insurance business or evaluate our underwriting, and then help us to be able to prudently underwrite. And by it, I'll be speaking into the generation of or the assessment of the risk so that it can be able to help us with the underwriting process. Right, so AI-driven assessment, what I'll be talking about will be how AI enhances risk assessment in the engineering landscape. So data-driven decision-making, like I said, if we want to venture into this, then we would need to have a lot of data to be able to do prudent underwriting. So as we are living here, the whole goal is to whet our appetite and to get this into the African landscape and get the AI to be performing multiple tasks, just like it's being done in some developed world. Now, machine learning algorithm anticipates potential failures and claims based on historical data. And thank God, because of COVID, most of us now do paperless offices, meaning all our work is done in a cloud, we have data available, so then we are already set to go. And then by the use of this data and predictive analysis or predictive modeling on the historical claim data we are able to, one, be able to determine or predict claims, one, from weather conditions, because like in Ghana, we know within the wet season or the rainy season, there are certain flood-prone areas. But we've all, one way or the other, shy away from insuring those places. But for all you know, for about 3, 4, 5 years, there's not been any incident over there, but still those clients are denied of flood cover. But with AI, with modeling, with bright data available, we are able to predict and know that, okay, this just thoughts, We don't, it is just our thinking that these places are not insurable. We can't insure floods within these places. But with AI, proper predictive tests due to historical data and then data available, weather patterns, the geographical location also, certain analysis that can be able to help perform, be able to advise that it is good to go for you to be able to do or provide such cover for such a client. With the use of Internet of Things, that is the use of sensors, certain technologies, artificial intelligence is able to gather enough data to help you with your decision making. Now, we all use some of us use quite sophisticated vehicles. And with the use of some sophisticated vehicles for a particular number of days, months, the vehicle is able to learn how your driving is. It's able to learn the terrain in which you're driving. I remember Land Rover invited me to conduct a test on their vehicle when Alliance Motors, the lead distributors of Range Rover. I was so marveled at how the intelligence or the artificial intelligence installed in the vehicle was able to detect certain bumpy or rocky areas. When you get to those places, you can leave the steering and then just set it to artificially navigate the surroundings, and it will drive through those areas. And if you have Coke on the dashboard, it will not even spill. And that's what we are talking about, where computer is able to do our thing. You don't need to be looking through your driving mirror or looking outside. Is there a stone here? I have to navigate this way. No. AI is able to help get all done. Now, with the Internet of Things I talked about, all the sensors and then telematics that can help us with insurance, there are also computer vision models for structural assessment, where computer models are able to do structural assessments, use scan. You can be able to scan properties or engineering structures to be able to understand how well built, let's say, this building is, or how the material composition of, let's say, a steel structure is, and then advise that this is a good area, this is not a good area. And it's the wonderful thing about this vision modeling is that it's an all-in-all thing. You know, it is one doing the work of the valuer, the work of the assessor or the civil engineer who is going to do the structural integrity test. Then it's able to, based on certain data you give it or the data you give it, be able to give you the proper underwriting terms and conditions you need to put in to be able to underwrite the business properly, as well as some other stuff as well. So the computer vision model, it analyzes images like you are seeing over here, where it's able to tell the workers on site by way of satellite imaging, be able to tell, okay, this is the activities ongoing at the site. Yesterday, whilst we were having a discussion, it came out that a client had some number of silos, oil silos, and then the underwriting information presented was contrary to what the imagery was given. Then the client was contacted and indeed confessed that yes, it's true. And even with that, I'm able to use normal Google Earth to be able to check on NPL values that you'll be required to apply for your insurance, your retentions, and then all that. So AI is the thing. And we need to, as fast as possible, move into it. These are some examples. So Cape Analytics AI model uses satellite imagery, like I said, to evaluate building conditions and then construction quality. Then also helps insurers to price appropriately for roof integrity, foundation stability, and then surrounding risk factors. You're insuring a place, you're not able to even know how the roof is. The least weather condition or the least winds gets to blow it away. But if you are able to do proper AI or imaging or this monitoring, one is able to tell you that, okay, with the look of the roof or how the structure is built, this year, next year, or how climate change, the pattern of climate change, this is the sort of claims you are likely to incur. It informs you on your underwriting, and it is real time. Now, this gentleman also has developed a video. Previously, when you are assessing a bridge, you get engineers go underneath the bridge with straps all around them. We will share this link so that you'll be able to watch the video. Because of time, we won't be able to watch the video. But in it, he's able to use the vision monitoring to be able to go underneath the bridge to check on the structural integrity of the bridge, as well as the works that are still ongoing. Certain very dangerous places, you will not be able to go there, but with AI you'll be able to go. Let me share a very funny thing that happened to me. One time I was going to conduct a survey of a loss that had occurred, and when we got to the place, I was made to sit in a canoe at a Galamsey site. I sat in a canoe with no life jackets. I was driven to the site, and just as we got down, there were armed military guys, not in their military uniform, but then they looked like military guys. And then they were like, "Maza, what do you want from here?" It scared me, actually, it really scared me. But if you have drones, if you have these satellite imaging, you would not need to go there. You can just look from a click of a button in your office. And that's what we are talking about. There are more cases. There are some global examples. Minicre has some AI-powered risk modeling that can help us to be able to do proper underwriting. And then Allianz also site risk monitoring system also. It provides footages from construction sites whilst you're doing your underwriting. We have African example. We have Sanlam in South Africa has implemented AI-powered construction risk analysis, and several of them. Nigeria, our brother Omo, we are very close by from Ghana. AXA, Mansard, and Leadway microinsurance products, they are doing it. That means that it's possible. Yeah, that means that it's possible, and we can do it. AI-driven climate risk assessment also is ongoing in Morocco, where AI-based catastrophe modeling is able to predict floods, earthquakes, and then droughts to help in our underwriting processes. AI-driven analytics also has revolutionized McKinsey and Co. So there is numerous of examples that can be given. It is time for us to be able to move into it, and it's time for us to do it right. Thank you. My brother Fifi will continue from there.
A round of applause again for Clemens. Fifi Amwa-Opon is a chartered insurance risk manager, chartered accountant, and an associate in risk management with extensive experience in the insurance industry. As an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute of the UK and Ghana, and a full member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, Fifi is recognized for his deep expertise in risk management, insurance placement, and claims management. He holds a first-class Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration Insurance from the University of Ghana Business School, and has further advanced his professional qualifications with specialized training, including the ARM designation from the Institute USA and ongoing Chartered Property Casualty Underwriter (CPCB) training with the same institution. In his current role as Chief Operating Officer at Olia M&G Insurance Brokers Limited, Fifi oversees day-to-day operations, leads international coordination efforts, and ensures the delivery of high-quality client solutions. His tenure has been marked by significant achievements, including the introduction of innovative operational processes, the implementation of advanced error prevention mechanisms, and the consistent enhancement of customer satisfaction through targeted surveys and continuous staff training. Fifi's commitment to professional excellence is demonstrated by his active participation in both local and international conferences and seminars. These experiences have further enriched his understanding of emerging trends and challenges in the insurance sector, allowing him to apply this knowledge to the strategic development of Olia M&G. Beyond his professional achievements, Fifi is deeply passionate about insurance education. His leadership in educational initiatives underscores his dedication to fostering a culture of continuous learning and intellectual engagements. A respected figure in the insurance industry, Fifi's strategic vision, technical acumen, and unwavering commitment to professional development have made him a key contributor to the advancement of the insurance practices in Ghana. Please help me welcome Fifi.
Thank you so much, Shasta. Good afternoon to you all. So I'm continuing from where my brother ended. We are discussing engineering underwriting and AI. I'm going to look at automated underwriting for engineering risk. Now listen, what are the benefits of automation? Why do we need it? At the end of the day, we want action after this conversation. It's not the normal talk show. But when we go back, those of us who have access to top management and the rest, we must go and make a change. So what we want you to understand is why we need to automate our systems. Number one, there's faster decision making and reduce underwriting timelines. I mean, you don't need anybody to tell you if you're a little bit knowledgeable in IT and how things are going now. That when you use AI in our underwriting decision making, we will get faster results and reduce underwriting timelines. You send a quotation to somebody, the person is spending 72 hours to do one quotation. With AI, you can do this one in split of seconds. And that's what we're talking about. Number two, lower operational costs for insurers. You see, when we want to automate our underwriting processes, we don't need a lot of the things that we spend money on now. You know, one of the things that affects the profitability of insurance companies will be the management costs. And all these things are bad. But to make matters worse is when you check the combined ratio. The combined ratio of this industry is not too good. Every one city, as of 2023, every one city that we spend 97 pesos on combined ratio. So which means the profitability is very low. But when we implement AI, we will bring down our costs and the profitability. Number three, enhance consistency and risk evaluation. Because AI has been trained to be able to understand all that the information you're feeding, is able to give consistent risk evaluation. Let's see some examples. When we look at Kenya. So in Kenya, insurers like Britam and Jubilee Insurance are leveraging AI to automate underwriting, particularly for motor and health insurance. So the rest of us, there's something we can do. Go back and tell management that we need to start looking at AI. If they want examples, point them to Kenya. AI models analyze real-time customer data for mobile money transactions, they call it M-Pesa, in Kenya, to assess individual risk profiles. So when you're having mobile money transactions using the M-Pesa, AI is able to determine individual risk profiles. And that's what they are doing there. Now, it doesn't mean there will not be challenges. There are still challenges in AI based on factor number one, data quality and availability of data in emerging markets. So yesterday I was mentioning to the rest of the colleagues that one problem we have in Africa, but let me talk about Ghana, that's where I'm from. It's data. It's data. See, in an advanced world where we have so much data available, they're able to predict things, they're able to predict risk, and things are much easier. But in Africa, in Ghana, who is putting data together to feed such a system to be able to give us something close to accuracy? So we should start looking at that. And again, even if there's data, how quality that data is. Number two, regulatory and compliance concerns. Thankfully, our regulator is here. Where are we going? In terms of understanding what is happening in this space, to be able to regulate the players in the market. That's another challenge we see. Number three, balancing automation with human expertise in complex risk. I mean, we will agree that AI cannot do it alone. But AI itself is learning from us. What we need to understand. So the human brain is so powerful. But how do we collaborate with AI to be able to advance? Now, Lloyd's of London gave a report on AI and insurance. This is a direct quote from them. They said, while automation streamlines underwriting, human oversight remains essential for engineering risks that require expert judgment. In engineering insurance, there's expert judgment that is needed. And that one, we need humans judgment, sound and solid judgment to be able to do that. So there must be that collaboration. What should insurers do to balance efficiency and accuracy in this AI balancing thing we want to do? Number one, there must be hybrid underwriting models. So what we mean by that is that AI-assisted decision-making should be combined with human validation. So no matter what AI is being empowered to do, there must be human validation to ensure that the thing that we are doing, where we need some judgment, a human being is putting that in. Number two, there must be regular AI model training. That is, we need to incorporate real-time claims data to refine risk assessment. Even the simple AI we use, ChatGPT, some of the answers, you must know, else it will deceive you. You can ask things about your home country and the AI will give you something different. And tell us, oh, I'm sorry, because it's still learning. So we need to regularly train the system to be able to think right. So feeding with more data, we need to learn how to work with data. I mean, going forward, I'm going to tell my MD, I don't know about you, invest in AI training. I'm not talking about ChatGPT. I'm talking about the one that we use to do insurance and underwriting and how to assess risk. Number three, adapting regulations. We need to ensure AI use aligns with compliance requirements and ethical considerations. There are a lot of ethical considerations when it comes to AI. So we need to check whether if we are doing underwriting, it's not discriminatory, it's not unfair to clients. We need to check data protection. I don't know those of us who are versed in that. It's a very important thing that if you don't take care, you'll get a lot of suits on the tables. Now let's see how AI improves pricing models. Talking about pricing. Number one, predictive pricing models. So here, AI considers project-specific risk, environmental factors, and historical claim data to be able to help you to price. So making price much easier. Number two, dynamic premium adjustment. So insurers are able to use AI to modify pricing based on real-time risk exposures. So at the beginning, okay, this is my risk exposure, but the weather conditions might change. The environment might change. There can be a war declared in the country. So the AI will be able to pick those information to adjust the premium as the policy runs. That's what we're talking about. Number three, customization of policies. AI enables tailored pricing structures based on specific engineering project needs. So as and when the need arises, so we don't do all engineering policies, if you see 0.25, no. It will be able to segregate, it will be able to differentiate and know which ones deserve what rate. Number four, AI-powered underwriting platforms streamline risk evaluation and pricing by analyzing multiple variables in real time. And that's what we're talking about. Let's see some examples. When we go to the developed market, USA, Europe, Chad, and Munich, they leverage AI in underwriting large-scale engineering projects, integrating satellite data, drone imagery, and Internet of Things sensors to refine risk exposure models. There will not be time to explain some of these things in real time. You see that things are really going on well, and we need to catch up if you have not started thinking about them. RiskWe uses AI to refine premium calculations for large infrastructure projects, something that we should be leading in our market. When it comes to Africa, Leadway seems is doing well. Assurance Nigeria integrates AI-driven risk analytics to enhance premium pricing accuracy for construction projects, something we must look at. Finally, these are the takeaways on AI-based pricing. Number one, transactions must move from static system to dynamic pricing models based on live data. Enough of every engineering policy 0.25. Every motor vehicle 6% when it's privately or private corporate. We must move from there. And that's Clement was saying. So that car, that's Range Rover, will have a better accident records than Toyota Vitz, which was created in 2017. So we need to stop that static way of rating to dynamic based on the data we have. Number two, AI enhances historical trend analysis, risk factor evaluation, and loss prediction. So we need to look at that to be able to help us to be able to analyze historical trends, to give risk evaluation, and to predict loss. Finally, regulator. There must be regulatory frameworks which evolve to accommodate AI pricing models in insurance. So our regulators who are here, are we ready for that? If not, we need to begin to think. There are some things we're going to consider, and I don't know whether we'll do that. Thank you very much for your attention.
Big round of applause. Big round of applause for Clement and Fifi. So we'll go through a few questions for the underwriting team, and then we'll come to claims, and then we'll follow up. Throughout the presentation, one of the questions that was coming to my mind, which I want to ask, and I'm sure is with everybody. I am thinking, will AI replace underwriters or underwriting? As for the panelists, anybody to make a contribution, would AI replace underwriters? Because we don't want the situation the next time we call for training, the room will be empty. Because everybody has been replaced.
Doc, thank you very much. Right, so like Fifi presented, Lloyd's of London has explained that it is not to change or it's not to take away the human aspect away. Instead, it's to enhance. And one thing is, if the bottom is wide, then it means that there is more work for us to do. So there will be several things that we can move into. There are several risks that are available that, because of limited knowledge, we are not able to. So as AI steps in, we are able to even stretch our band into other areas that ordinarily wouldn't be insuring. Then work will still be going. You still have your bonus, I still have my bonus.
So beyond what Clement is saying, it is actually a wake-up call to us, because we don't see AI completely taking away a human element in terms of underwriting. I don't have collaboration. I can't collaborate when you don't have the knowledge. So we need to begin to start learning, investing into how we'll go to these things to be able to work with AI for better efficiency and effectiveness. Thank you.
So based on that answer, these are the thoughts that I picked from your presentation. AI has challenges but opportunities. So the challenges, regulation, access to right talent, access to data, access to correct tools and skills. How then do we, just as you are presenting, based on the issue that you have raised, how are we going to be able to make sure that we have the right tools, data, skills to take much more of advantage rather than looking at the challenges? Because it says AI is a challenge but an opportunity. Anybody from the panel to
Thank you so much. Maybe to answer partly your question, as an industry, because of maybe insufficient data, like in the Kenyan market, the insurance companies, apart from competing with each other for the businesses that are there, are collaborating. So there's a system in place whereby, for instance, if there's a claim in the market, it's fed into that particular system, which is controlled at the regulator's level. So let's say tomorrow you've been approached to provide cover for this particular motor vehicle, and the client says loss free. So you are able to go to that particular system and get the information you want. So collaboration will be very key as underwriters in this particular market or anywhere in the world, apart from the fact that we are competitors. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. So then that comes to my last question. Based on the issue about collaboration, data sharing, and not, even though we are competing, we shouldn't be afraid to share information, right? Would you say that, I'm sure we all have come to, we all were witnesses to the California fires. And if you read deeply into it, this particular year, insurance decided they were not insuring the houses. So would it come to the point that you have just read that because they collaborated? Because somebody asked me, how did all the insurers know that something was going to happen and everybody decided this year they are not insuring? Is it AI using and being able, confident enough to say, everybody who is insuring, let's put information together so that we can always tap into it, and then would you collaborate that it was because of these situations? That is why with the California fire, there's no insurance cost. Because if there was insurance cost, this year insurance cost on the world market would increase. Because already aviation has come in, and with all the issues that are happening, it would have been so much. What is your take on that?
Right. So, yes, to every system, obviously there are certain gaps that needs to be bridged. Now, in as much as we are collaborating to be able to underwrite properly, like in the California issue, certain catastrophes would not necessarily require just the insurance industry to be able to handle. It comes from the national level also. So with AI coming into place, it is to help us underwrite better, but not to deny the clients of cover as well. So if I'm sure, I don't know the side of the government, but I'm sure beforehand regulators knew that that area has been denied of insurance cover, and definitely there was something available to be able to help. If I'm right, I read that the government has set apart monies that homeowners are to assess, which means that beforehand there were plans ahead. So if we are collaborating and it's to help us make things better, whatever effect there is, we also need to plan around it and put plans in place so that the effects won't overwhelm the industry.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. What I gather is that we should see insurance as business, so that where the risk factors would derail our objective of becoming profitable, we do not necessarily go in there, right? That's what you're saying there. When you have AI, the predictive materials will direct you to do good underwriting, so that instead of being dogmatic, 2% for every race that comes in, 6% every motor vehicle. Now, lifestyles and everything goes into the underwriting, and so I can look at one person differently from the other because I have enough information on that person. On that note, we want to thank the underwriting team very much. Very much. Thank you very much for the presentation. We'll now move on to the next level and call on claims.
So let me read his profile. He is an industrial engineer. He has a certificate with the Chartered Insurance Institute. He is a licensed insurance consultant, a licensed reinsurance broker, a licensed insurance broker, and a former licensed loss adjuster and risk surveyor. He has 25 years of experience in the insurance industry. He has 6 years claims management experience and also claims management experience in reinsurance and 7 years claims management experience in direct insurance. He has 3 years international loss adjuster and survey experience and 9 years experience in the development of the business environment, business channels, and direct insurance. Please with a round of applause.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I will not be using slides. I'll be more pinpointing some issues to help us start thinking about this AI and machine learning issue and what's the reflections of the insurance industry, and mainly on the claim side for me. So to understand, we need to start to understand that insurance claim ecosystem is constant, is changing all the time. We need to understand the major trends in the claims nowadays with this change. The first one will be data exploitation and automation. There is an increasing need of connectivity tools, systems and database to master the huge amount of data so we can reach the next level of claim automation and sophistication. The second trend in the industry now is fraud, and with the development of artificial intelligence, fraud now is called fraud 2.0. So it's a new version of fraud, 2.0. Yes, because in addition to the traditional fraud, we have new fraud patterns using artificial intelligence. The third one is claim inflation. This is caused by the financial operation pressure and the challenges facing the economies and the industries in general. And the fourth one is the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. The power of AI and machine learning is challenging the human touch, and it's shifting us into new areas in claim processing and fraud detection. And the fifth trend is the future workplace and workforce. For the workplace, it's about the hybrid remote working environment. Everybody is trying to adapt with that. And the workforce, there is an increasing shortage in skills, mainly in the insurance industry. And this challenge needs to be resolved, and it's a challenging trend nowadays. So for claims automation, I would always say that empathic human-to-human interaction is and will always be one of the most important aspects of claims handling. So automation can help speed up the claim process and make it more transparent ultimately leading to greater level of trust among customers. Also, automation can help to solve the growing need of skills in the insurance industry. Though even it can solve part of the problem, not always, talent shortages will remain. I think even attracting new people in the insurance industry is tough. And to take them after insurance to claims management and risk survey, the loss adjuster and surveyor position in the insurance is high shortage in the market. We have seen today in the presentation in Ghana, 3 licensed loss adjusters. We have seen before, even in Dubai, where they have more than 100 licensed loss adjusters. When the floods came, you will be lucky if someone attempts to survey in 6 months. So there is always a shortage and a need. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. By integrating artificial intelligence and machine learning into the claim process, insurers can unlock efficiency, freeing up staff to focus on higher values, tasks and goals, including customer satisfaction. Artificial intelligence and advanced analytics can make claim process faster, but at the same time enhance the level of control and improve decision making through the claim process. Again, I would say completely eliminating human involvement is a myth. This will never happen. Mechanisms should bring human in the loop to review and resolve each cases. This supervision helps to fine-tune the machine learning models, leading to the machine being surer and more confident over time, ultimately resulting in a lower error rates and higher automation. You can see now some models of artificial intelligence and machine learning technology in the claim. Automatically extract data from your documents, including even 110 claims, low resolution images, all this with high level of accuracy to enable us to process the claims faster with a loss and reduce the cost of managing the claim. Also, artificial intelligent algorithms can analyze large database and detect superfine signs of fraud that might be unnoticed by human investigators. So AI and machine learning is the future in the insurance industry. But till today, sadly, most of the budget, IT budget in the companies is targeting only the legacy system in the company to maintain the legacy system running. So statistics say more than 70% is just to maintain your legacy system. If you just to add hardware maintenance and new laptops, you're leaving zero for adopting the future, adopting the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Yes, we can use the underwriting information for the claims, but at the same time, upon the claim occurrence, AI and machine learning can adapt at a completely separate time, and the investment should be towards not only underwriting issues, but also into claims issues. I will finish my brief speak by saying it's now the time to adapt. It's now the time to modernize your companies and adapt the changes. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about now. The future is now. And the time frame in adopting artificial intelligence and machine learning in Europe and in the United States, they give a frame of 0 to 3 years. Everybody now is more familiar with the terms insurtech. This is a huge investment for the AI and machine learning in the insurance industry. So let's be part of the change and let's lead the process, not just move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for you see that because it says AI will make the claims process faster. You just finish and faster. The underwriters, because they had to use drones and everywhere, it took a longer time. But once you bring the data and your AI is on point, when the claim comes, it is faster. Thank you very much. I have just a few questions and then we can carry on to the next one. Not a lot. I know that they say that AI will reduce claims resolution cost by 75%. Resolution cost, claims.
Resolution.
Yes, resolution, yes. I mean, to resolve claims and all those things. If we are to adopt AI, it will bring our costs of resolving such problems. Because sometimes it takes a long time because we need to resolve back and forth data and all those things. And so a claim that could be resolved in a day will take a month. It is being said that if you adopt AI, it will bring it down by 75%.
Even if not more.
Do you agree to that?
Yes, I would say maybe even more than 75%.
So you have your answer. It means that when you go back next time when you are doing your budget, don't spend 70% on trying to retain legacy costs. Try to improve so that your claims position, because in insurance, it is only claims that drives our brand. And if you can resolve claims by 75%, then you're on target to become very, very profitable. Thank you very much.
Yes, I would love just to add that when I say that change begins from you, and I mean from the insurance company, you don't need to wait for the government to make a change. You need to push them for the change. You need to start to show them that what's the requirements you have and you have to provide the service. You need to push them to provide more. If we sit and wait, normally it's not just here, everywhere. Government is slower than the private sector. So you have to lead, you have to push, and they will follow. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll take the next presentation, and it is on AI adoption and implementation. So now, we are all set that we need to adopt it. So we are going to look at how the adoption and implementation process is done. And so we'll introduce the next presenter.
To do that for us will be Mr. Kwesi Oforiku, and I read his profile. Mr. Kwesi Juma Oforiku is currently the head of reinsurance at Danwell Insurance Limited and a member of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana. He received his undergraduate degree in physiotherapy from the University of Ghana and is an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute of London, that's the ACI. With a career in insurance spanning over 11 years, Kwesi is the pioneer and former head of the Special Risk and Reinsurance Unit at Glyco General Insurance. He's a well-rounded professional with in-depth knowledge and experience in the insurance business, particularly in the underwriting of oil and gas risk. Please, with a round of applause, kindly welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm also not presenting. Mine is more of a talk to get us to think a bit more about the previous two presentations we have had. Adoption and implementation of AI. First off, I think when we hear of AI these days, a lot of people think of your ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and all these other applications. But really, we've had AI for some decades now. How many of us remember Microsoft Office 2003? There was this little paperclip icon that will pop up on your screen at the bottom right, if you remember, and then gives you frequently asked questions and all of that. That's AI. when Android phones first came out, one of the first applications that came was your Google Maps. Those days, it's still AI. So we have had AI for quite a long time now. But when we talk of AI in our business today, we are talking of autonomous AI. That is the new innovation, and that is where we are heading towards in this decade. And so when we talk of autonomous AI, a lot of things we have to consider. In fact, if we are to go into the adoption of it properly, we may not live here today. So what I wanted to do was to focus a bit more on certain key aspects of it, and I'll start with the data itself. So the quality of the data, and then the AI models and how they pick on the data to deliver the necessary service. And to begin with, when it comes to engineering insurance, in fact, from the research I did, it looks like not much is being done in terms of AI in the engineering space. What we see more of is influence in motor insurance and then the fire. But that's not to say we still can't pick some information on how we can move forward as we continue on our engineering insurance. And so when we talk of data, really, we don't have data. Most of us sitting here don't have data. You just have information. And I'll explain why. So when you look at the AI models, one of the first early models that came looks at machine learning algorithms. And when we talk of machine learning algorithms, we are looking at codes. A system has been built with a set of codes. You give it your information, it processes that information, and it gives you a certain outcome that you need to go about your work. And this is historical data. So ask yourselves in your various companies now, how much of the information you have has been coded such that if you need to, let's say, do an inquiry, a client comes to you, says he has this risk sitting on a plateau somewhere. How are you able to identify the various risk factors there? Do you have any historical data on that site? 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Is it in an earthquake zone? Is it in a zone that is noted for fire or drought or any of these other perils that can lead to a loss? I'm sure most of us don't have that. Perhaps, individually, if you were to go to that region and you ask your marketers and underwriters, they have the information, but it is sitting with them in their various offices, and it is not somewhere properly codified, registered, recorded, that we can all plug into. So that's it for the machine learning algorithms. I think Clement already spoke of computer vision, and that is the use of images and videos to assess and verify claims. So I won't go much into that. And then the next model AI uses is in automated risk scoring. And here again, we are looking at our inputs, the data, the information we are plugging into the system. How many of us here are able to rate all the risks we even have? Just even look at everything you did in 2024. If you have been asked to bring out a risk register yourself, are you able to identify that, okay, out of the 100 risks I captured this year, about 10 of them are very high risks. Should all of them crystallize, I'm bringing liabilities of $1 billion to my company. The rest may be medium to low risks. Should they all crystallize, I'm bringing a liability of $5 million to my company. The $5 million is within the company's retention, $10 million is beyond the company's retention, and so these are the reinsurance placements we need to have in place. How many of us are able to do those kind of assessments? These are things we need to think about as far as data in the AI space is concerned. Then we look at the change management. And here we are looking at the main strategies that we need in order to adopt the AI into the engineering insurance space. The first thing we need to do is to build a structured data ecosystem. And this will need quality and a quantity of data to train the AI system that will be able to accurately reflect the risks that we are all capturing. And by doing so, the AI will be able to serve its purpose for us all. Currently, in motor insurance in Ghana, we have a lot of companies use WhatsApp chatbots. That is where we really see the application of AI these days. And you realize that the companies that do not invest too much in the inputs, when you have that conversation with the AI bots and the insured ask the AI a question, and the database has not been configured to have the information the client is requesting for, the feedback is very poor. In some cases, it gives you a null response, and you realize the customer experience is gone. And so we realize that the inputs, the data, the information we are feeding into the system at this stage is very critical, because we are in a very infantile stage of AI adoption. And as Clement and Fifi presented, that's why we have the need to invest more into the training and adoption of AI. The next is on employee training and retraining. And here I think it's also been mentioned already, but I will also mention that these days internet connectivity is, a mainstay of our operations. And I remember personally, before COVID hit, in fact 2 years before COVID hit, I brought up the idea of remote working even in my workplace. No one was interested. In fact, the first time I brought it to management, they thought I was looking for a way to stay at home and have fun and do whatever I needed to do. But it was because I realized I spent so many hours in traffic just getting to the office. A lot of my work is done behind the screen. In fact, I schedule my time such that I have the days I go out and I have the days I'm in the office. So I just thought about it. Why do I need to spend extra time in the office? I could just work from home, and then the days I need to go out to meet a client, I go out and meet my client. No one was interested in that. Then immediately when COVID hit, I was one of the first people my company decided to call upon, and then they were asking, so how do we go about things now? Fortunately, just a year prior, we did an upgrade to the system, and the system had remote working enabled. Even then, that functionality was not turned on because no one believed in it. No one thought we didn't have need for it. But as soon as COVID hit, suddenly the realization hit. And so for me, that was one, I would say I was glad COVID hit, but at least I was happy that I was communicated at that point. Then lastly, I'll talk about the psyche in the adoption of AI. And first, in terms of how we perceive AI, its usefulness and benefits, I don't think I need to talk much about that. We all appreciate AI in our lives. There are lots of positive uses, the way it makes us more efficient, processing things faster and all of that. But then on the other side, there are issues of trust and transparency. Because your clients have to wonder, all this information I'm giving to my insurer, how do I know they will not take it out and expose me elsewhere? So if you realize sometimes when we call on underwriters for information, they tell you the client is not ready to give that information. It is because of this. They have a certain lack of trust, and because our process is also not so transparent, we do not go ahead to explain to them why we need the information from them, and so we do not get the feedback that we need. All these are going to affect the adoption of AI. And then we've discussed the matter of job displacement. For me, I don't think of us losing jobs or there being unemployment. Rather, think of it as a change in the rules. Before the 2000s, in fact the late 80s, early 90s, most underwriting was done in a typing pool. I remember companies like SIC where when my parents used to work. I was a kid then, but I remember it so clearly. You would go into a big hall like this, and there are just long rows of seats, and everyone is just typing. So you just enter the room and yes, that's all that is going on in there. And by early 2000s, in those days, once computers became mainstay in the office, within a couple of years, all the typists were laid off. There was a lot of what they called at that time technological unemployment. But what happened? A lot of those staff went back to school, upgraded their IT skills, and they came back. So they were no longer just working as typists. In fact, I'll say that's where modern underwriting really started from. Because before then, we had a separation of personnel. You had those who were there to key in the policies, those who were out there to market with the clients, and those who were out there to assess the risk. But these days, you realize you meet an insurance professional, and he's a composite individual. He's able to do everything from start to finish. This is your client. You are handling the client. If the client has a loss, you are the first point of call. He doesn't report to an office somewhere. You are the only person he knows. And that is how insurance has changed. So now with the adoption of AI, we need to start thinking, what is going to be your role in your company? The next 3 years, the next 5 years, by the end of the decade. If it happens that your desk is no longer necessary to the company, what are you going to do? It means you have to either upgrade or you are finding a new profession. I think when Esther read out my profile, she mentioned that my first degree was in physical therapy. In fact, I hadn't dreamed that I would also enter the insurance industry because my dad had been in the insurance industry for years and I was trying to be rebellious. So I decided, no, I'll go the physio route, I'll not do insurance. But right after school, I looked at the way everything was going. The pocket was a bit dry. And then the opportunity opened up in insurance and I said, okay, this is here for you. If you want it, come in. If you want to go back to school and continue your physio, go there. And I thought about it and I chose the money. And I haven't looked back. So the insurance profession is a lucrative one. I think we've all benefited from it. And we shouldn't fear AI. You shouldn't fear it at all. It's just here to, or it's a tool that you will use to improve whatever you are doing. And then lastly, on the psyche in adopting AI is on our firms themselves, their viability, as I call it. Because as I mentioned, when I mentioned remote working to my firm initially, they couldn't see how it would be viable to the operations, how to save costs, improve efficiency. And even today, that challenge is still there. So you go and talk to AI, and talk about AI to your management, and it's like, this guy, what's he talking about? So you've gone for one conference, you've come back, you think you know better than anybody. So it's incumbent on us to hit hard on the need for you to adopt AI now, else you'll be left behind. Then we move on to regulation, and here I'll summarize quickly. I think Clement also mentioned, or who presented the regulation, yes. So the only other thing, I think, did you mention surveillance? Data privacy and surveillance, okay. And then the other thing is on responsible AI. I don't think you mentioned that. So I'll get into that. So responsible AI is defined as the process of defining policies and establishing accountability to guide the creation of your AI system. And as I mentioned, this will help in establishing trust, transparency with your clients. If they know there's a responsible AI system that does not feed their information elsewhere, and it's just between you, the insurer, and your client, they can trust that process, then we know that the AI can really be adopted in the market. And I'll end on data breaches. And this is the intentional or inadvertent exposure of confidential information to unauthorized parties. And usually it takes two forms, either an innocent mistake where an individual emails information to the wrong person. And I've experienced it a number of times where people erroneously send me an offer. And sometimes I look at it and I'm like, do I need to respond to this or not? So that's innocent. At that times, it's also very malicious. Maybe you have a disgruntled worker and he decides before I go, I'll just expose the company and throw everyone out. He sends something to the media and decides to paint the company in a very bad light. So you can imagine if an AI system is involved in this, with all the information that you've put into that AI system, and your employee decides to leak even the language of that AI out, gives it to your competitor. I mean, you can just imagine the exposure that will come to your firm. So in terms of regulation, we need to look at laws and policies that will govern these situations. Thank you.
Invest so you have enough information about whatever happens. We know time is far gone, so we are going to give the next set of people 5 minutes to finish up so we can go. I know that we are out of time, but mostly what we are just going to talk about is the future, for which most has been mentioned. So I do not expect them to spend more time trying to repeat what has been said. Right? We won't reinvent the wheel. So in that case, Hassan and Shamima will use 5 minutes to put everything together.
Let me just briefly read their profiles. You need to know your seasoned panelists. I'll start with Shamima, ladies first. Shamima is an accomplished and highly driven insurance professional with a wealth of experience in business development and writing and resistance. Currently serving as the team head of reinsurance at Glyco General Insurance Limited. She has consistently demonstrated leadership and operational expertise in managing reinsurance programs. Her ability to drive efficiency, optimize processes, and deliver results has been instrumental in the company's success. Notably, Shamima has foreseen the timely management of claims recoveries, fostering collaboration across departments and reducing claims leakage by 15%, which has greatly improved reinsurance program efficiency. In her previous role as acting branch manager, Shamima showcased her strategic marketing skills, successfully developing plans that contributed to exceeding premium targets and achieving significant business growth. She is highly adept at building strong client relationships, which contributed to 100% client retention. And for Mr. Hassan Omura.
My name is Hassan Amani Omuroka.
So Omuroka Amani Hassan, ACI, is a Kenyan national. He's currently the head of technical operations at Ghana, Kenya, and he's currently pursuing an MBA at Liverpool John Moore University. He holds a Bachelor of Commerce from the Kenyatta University in Kenya and an advanced diploma in insurance from the AIIK. He also has over 15 years of experience in insurance and reinsurance, and he trains or he's a facilitator in engineering, fire, and marine. And his philosophy is driving operational excellence and long-term profitability. He's a football fanatic. That's one of the Man City fans. Yes. So it's highly
I want to say that most of the items you want to discuss have been discussed very well by fellow panelists. But to start with, I want to confirm from what they have just told us that artificial intelligence really is driving significant change in the insurance industry. So for us here, we are going to explore the future outlook of engineering insurance, highlighting opportunities for growth, looking at some of the challenges, of course, that need to be addressed going forward, and the role of human expertise in leveraging AI effectively. So to begin, my colleague Shamima will address AI's impact on future underwriters, the skills they will require, and the new models and opportunities that industry players can capitalize on. And I will then conclude by examining the role of human expertise and the implications of AI for the current workforce. Shamima, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan. Just like all the panelists have earlier indicated, when insurance companies adopt AI in our day-to-day activities, we end up having the AI-driven risk assessment. there will be no need for us to invite people all over the world, especially surveyors, to come on site to do risk assessments or risk surveys for us. But with the use of the drones and the satellites, we will be able to save costs and also time. And as companies, one of the main focus we have is to maximize profit. Hence, costs will be, minimized. So then we will be able to save a lot of resources. Then also, with regards to building capacity of underwriters, currently, like Christine mentioned, when companies were moving from the typical typewriter to computer system, people had to go back to school to build capacity. And with AI in place, it's key for each company to invest more to build capacity of the staff, not just underwriters, but also claims professionals as well, to ensure that we are all up to speed to match up with the way the world is growing. For Ghana, it's quite difficult when it comes to inculcating technology in our day-to-day activities. And I would cite a short example when it came to a claim that we had to pay at our end with regards to a contractor's plant and machinery. We noticed the client, after the loss, took about 3 months to notify the insurance company. And with this, by the time we started assessing, certain key factors or certain things that we needed to focus on were already missing. But because of the client continuity or business continuity, we just had to know if AI was in place, the customer would have just input the data, give us the information that we need for us to have enough reserve. So because that wasn't done, it became a challenge and we needed to go to reinsurers for a cash call. So in summary, I'll just say, we as insurers, what are we doing? Is it just going by the traditional way? It's about time. Like Mahmoud said, the future is now, and we need to incorporate AI in our day-to-day activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalina. I want to touch the very important topic, human expertise. So I want to say from the discussion that we've had, and you can confirm clearly that we cannot be replaced. AI cannot replace us. It can only make us more efficient. It can only make our turnaround times to improve. It can only make us pay claims on time and get more business. Remember, people, our business is a business of human relationship. You cannot tell me an AI business development manager somewhere like a robot will go visit another AI kind of robot in another company to seek for business. Now, we have situations also whereby some claims need to be discussed one by one. Even an example of maybe litigation claims. I don't think AI will be able to do this. As well as maybe situations whereby we need also to discuss maybe the ex gratia claims. Yesterday, we were talking about situations whereby we give even terms based on commercial reasons. This is our business. So there are things, including even market conditions, that we do consider in our underwriting that AI cannot replace. And to sum it up, in fact, AI needs us more than we need AI. Simply because who fits data into the AI system?
The human.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a big round of applause. You have really brought everything into perspective. Before I conclude, I ask questions. Those who have questions, how many people have questions? 1, 2, 3.
You mentioned that historical data or big data is the backbone of AI. Historical data or big data, because it's like without it, the results that we get from IoTs and telematics will be wrong. Okay, and Fifi also said when we embrace it, it will make our combined ratios look good. Okay, so does it mean that without historical data, AI cannot thrive? That's my first question. And let's also look at emerging risk or evolving risk like COVID-19. Our colleague here said AI has been there for me. But COVID-19 came in, the whole world, it was a shock to us. So if AI has been there and right now you are praising AI is so good. I mean, COVID-19 came in, nobody could predict it. And also, the third one is, our colleague is assuring us that it will not take our jobs away. So if you are doing underwriting, let's say we are 5 doing underwriting, and there's AI and it's improving my work. At first, I was able to process, let's say, 20 clients. Now with AI, I'm processing 5 clients. Like, I can do 50 clients at a time. So if I'm doing 50 and my colleagues are there, what are they doing? Yeah, so that's unemployment. So please, yeah, so without, what I'm saying, so I want your answers to this. Thank you.
So with regards to data, I'd like us to just set our eyes to our homes when we give birth. All that we're doing is telling the kid what you know for it to be able to do, to be human. And so is it with AI. You are teaching it to be like you. And obviously you need data. What you are telling your kid is, when I started as a human, I started walking, I started eating. So I need to teach you as a child to eat, to run, to play or to do whatever. And those are historical data you are feeding the child. And that is it with AI. Without you making the machine learn, it won't know. And for it to be able to know well, just like my brother said, you need to code it properly. You are Christians, we Christians over here, when you are teaching your child how to speak, excuse me, you are not using tongues. You use coded language, which is your local dialect, to be able to let the child understand what you are doing. So that is it. You need data. And by saying that, you need to codify the data so that you'll be able to understand and give you the right outcome you need. And then also with regards to job, can I proceed? Great. So with regards to job, like I was saying, our policies are very limited in Ghana, in Africa. Yesterday we were looking for demolition insurance, and we didn't know about it, but it's available. The policies are there, the extensions are there, the exclusions are there, but because we don't know it, or because we don't have the knowledge, the know-how, we're not able to give any answer to it. But if your task is lessened by AI, more will be given to you, and you'll be able to handle it. Right? I think the second one.
Where AI was able to tell.
We are not saying that AI is God. We are not saying that AI is God. But it's to help us predict better. Thank you.
Thank you, Daddy.
Second question is for you. So maybe to answer your question, the second question about AI, what AI is going to, it's not going to replace our responsibilities as underwriters, but it's going to reduce the numbers that companies are going to employ going forward. What will happen to you who are already there, leave alone your own kids, if you don't adapt, you will be replaced. So basically going forward, you need to learn on how these machines are going to work for us to continue working in this particular sector. But going forward, what I say is, it's not going to replace, like as in, we are going to have underwriters in the future. Whether we are having 10 now, and in the future we're going to have 2, what remains is underwriters are going to be there, but the numbers might reduce. So you need to change, you need to adapt for you to change. Then the companies must put in place measures to ensure that they change the way they do things. Let them welcome AI and things will be good.
Next question. Sorry. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Okay. Just about the information. The good thing in artificial intelligence is that you can take a step back. You don't need to start machine learning today with what's coming to the future. You have the information from the past. You can feed it now to the machine learning, to the artificial intelligence, so that it can start making decisions out of today based on the history you have. So it's not you need to feed it now, so after 10 years you could benefit. Feed it with 10 years back the information, and it will start give you the benefit now.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you to my panelists here, and I like how everyone spoke on the good things about AI. But however, there have been some failures of AI in the world. 2016 happened to Microsoft with Trade. It happened with Tesla autopilot accidents. It also happened with Amazon AI recruitment. And all of this happened due to information that was fed to AI by users, not creators. And however, we are insurers. We have, as much as we want to protect our industry, we have people that want to take advantage of our industry. And these people can be our clients, they may be our competitors, and whatsoever. So in that light, I want someone, anyone from the panel, to try to hit the nail on the head for us to know that, look, cybersecurity risks exist and how can we combat it going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take the next question. Please, the panelists, when we come, we'll answer all the questions. So this is on fraud detection.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My question goes to Fifi and Clement. Right. I heard you talk about AI and
They can't hear you.
hello.
We didn't hear
Hello. Okay, thank you very much. My question goes to Clement and Fifi.
Yeah.
Clement spoke about the car that he went to test.
Yes.
And how they have included AI. And also Fifi made mention the fact that we should come in from the normal 6% and 5%. In fact, I have even watched a video on Facebook that a VW vehicle, when you are driving a car and you collapse the vehicle, the car can detect to know whether the driver has collapsed and it will on the hazard and park by the roadside and send an information to the ambulance for the ambulance to come to you.
Not in Ghana.
So
they are coming there. Please go on.
That means that if this AI and the vehicle, the probability of loss or accident is low, and for that matter, the car should enjoy lower rates. Now, in reality, we live in a country where most, I want to be corrected, most of the motor accidents are caused by external forces. What do I mean by that? Someone will bump into a car, someone will crash into a car. Now, here comes my question. Do you think we can employ AI to help assess those external risks? If yes, do you also think that those vehicles will warrant a lower rate?
Thank you. So that will come to you. The last one.
Thank you. Okay, so mine is not a question, because majority of the panelists mentioned regulation. So it goes to say that regulation is key and it's important. But luckily, over the years, when it comes to the regulator in Ghana, the regulator collaborates with industry in bringing about regulatory frameworks or guidelines. So once the industry adopts this IA in their underwriting, definitely the regulator is available to bring for guidelines. That's to help the industry. We take notice of all these cyber tracks, the electric vehicles that are coming into the market. And I know discussions are already ongoing. But once the market adopts this IA, the regulator will come up with the guidelines. Thank you.
Yes, addition to that, they say data crazy, so we will know how. So now let's take the first question.
The first question.
Is the cyber?
I think it's not about just the cyber security you're concerned. Cyber security, but you have a more concern about
big
data. Yes, big data and the validity of the data, the wrongful data. And this is a huge data, and the misleading data is classified in the insurance industry now as the highest risk after natural catastrophe. So it is true, this is a high risk. Cyber security will not solve the issue. Cyber security is to protect your data. So this is how to make your own data, to cooperate with others, to collect the data, to take the data from sources that you can trust in a way you can trust. Yes, this is a huge challenge. You cannot just go to if you go to ChatGPT or start talking with them, at the minute he will start telling you stories and will make you believe it's true. So it's not reliable source of data. So you have to choosing the reliable sources of data. This is what you need to feed to your system, reliable sources, not just any random sources.
Let me just add something on that question about cybersecurity. With AI, I believe going forward, cybersecurity gonna be like a compulsory cover, just like motor. I can give an example. For example, in the construction industry, where robots are being employed to replace masons, for example, you realize that there are robots that are working as masons. What if the systems controlling them are hacked? Or there's a robot also for maybe being used as a driver in an excavator somewhere near a building. What if they are hacked? So for underwriters in future who would want to ensure certain projects which more of AI is being employed, then they are going to say, no, cyber security has to be a compulsory cover. Thank you.
Right. You're looking at a system where all vehicles are going to be embedded with these sophisticated technologies. In that, the vehicles that will be plying our roads, like now we have electric vehicles and all that, where we will not be seeing the usual trotro around. You get it? When I say trotro, Ghana is public transport buses. We will not be seeing those. We will be seeing more sophisticated vehicles. And also Skytrains. I actually was anticipating Skytrain like some 4 years ago. Like, that one is politics. We'll handle that later. Right, so please, don't be scared about the future is driverless vehicles. Driverless vehicles. And if those driverless vehicles come into our market space, are we ready to insure them? And that is what we are telling ourselves, that we need to start developing ourselves to be able to embrace that particular generation that is going to come.
Thank you. In fact, just to side with you and make a comment, we need the preparation. Right now, I even feel that we are not doing proper underwriting. The proper underwriting we are doing is just like we have the rates, so we apply the rates to anything that we get. It doesn't matter the vehicle, it doesn't matter the personality, we just apply the rates. We should be looking at all these things we're talking about even before AI comes. Looking at the history of the person, the type of person driving, the type of vehicle, and all these things to apply rates. But we are not doing that. And the question is, are we really ready? Are we ready to zoom into these things? And we have to, because, as you said, AI is the way. That is where the whole world is going. So this thing, I'm praying that the regulator and the leaders in the industry will start these discussions, and it will start from somewhere. I'm not seeing Ghana, or I'm not seeing us changing our tractors very soon, but definitely we'll get there. So we need to start preparing our minds, setting up the policies, setting up the systems, so that by the question when we get there, it becomes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. When you were talking, I was just asking myself that if I was going to go around this room and ask people, how do you underwrite your EVs? Or you just come, I'm insuring my car, and you just no inspection, nothing. So just as the saying, we need to get ourselves ready because all these things are going to come. Electric vehicles was mentioned some 10-15 years ago. They are here now. All the things that we are talking about in the next couple of years, will be with the insurance industry. And these are the risk factors that we are going to face. We need to be ready. We can't just talk and just go back and it becomes every other day matter. Politics. It is with everything, but we always have to be ready because politics is not going away. We are running business for profitability, so if we are going to wait politics to collapse our companies and then we'll be out on the street. So we need to be able to get it sorted out as much as possible. So that's what the regulator is saying. We need to work with regulators because that is where the politics is. If we are able to bring out the issues and put it out there, then we are ready. If not, the things will come before we go and try to resolve it. Then we've created a crisis.
You can see the laptop that were there.
Were there laptops?
Not laptop, they were, I don't know, they were very big. But even that one, they were on people's tables. And then we had come initially and somebody brought me a full snap notebook that this is what I should write. I said, I can't write this one. What is the essence of these big things that are sitting there? And so we decided to use the computer. It was not laptop then, it was tabletop. And it is because of that a lot of people who were not prepared to learn went out. Because they were making noise and then one said, why don't you learn from them? Once every technology is coming in, this AI, whether we like it or not, we should adapt and make sure that we are learning how it works. Otherwise, we may be going off. Those who know will stay. Those who learn will stay. Those who don't learn will go out. But remember, it is also technology. In future, maybe 2-3 years time, who knows what will come again. So whatever comes in, let us adapt and then make sure that we learn. Otherwise, we go out of competition.
Thank you very much. Can we all give ourselves a very big round of applause? It's been very insightful conversation and discussion. And from all of this, it says that AI will improve prediction accuracy, risk prediction accuracy. It will gauge intent. It will identify cross-selling opportunities, delight users. Most importantly, the transformation is going to come with this. AI will reshape claims processing times. It will also enable distribution quicker and help us to underwrite and price well. But most importantly, for you and I, it says AI is not going to replace us, which is the good news. But it will help us achieve 5 to 10 times faster claims processing cycle. The claim cycle will be 10 times faster. It means that we ourselves need to be ready to be able to match up to that. It will also make sure that detection and rejection of fraudulent claims and overall provide intelligent recommendations on risk analysis and prevention. So in all these for us is that it is going to minimize financial losses and improve customer experience. And so if we adopt AI, overall our companies are going to be profitable and our industry is going to become stronger, financially secure for all of us. On that note, I want to thank all the panelists. Will you give them a round of applause? It has been a wonderful session, and we are just going to make sure that whatever we have learned here won't be just similar. We'll start. I know it might be slow. Insurance industry is slow to change, and especially with technology, like you mentioned. Even working from home. If COVID hasn't come, we'll still be working in the office. But we will get there. And hopefully with these pieces of advice and encouragement, eventually our industry will change for the better. We want to appreciate all of you once again. Thank you for doing that. On that note, we'll take country presentation from Egypt and Cameroon and we'll end the day. So we'll call on Egypt.